Hello folks, welcome to the review. Today we're going to talk about this little beauty, the Free Spirit CTX 9-foot feeder rod. Now, Free Spirit aren't a brand we've featured on here before, Dave, but what do you reckon to this little beauty?
Well, I mean, I've got, like you, I know very little about the brand, Tom, but I'm seeing more of them. They've obviously branched from carp fishing into coarse fishing, match fishing, this sort of thing. And I have to say, every time I see one of the rods, I'm nothing but impressed by them. They're very high quality, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that straight away, you don't even need to be an expert on carbon to know and feel a rod.
Yeah.
There's just something about them. They're very slim blanks. I've seen 15-foot rods on the river, and they're very slim, very well balanced, and they're just. All I say is the first impression is it oozes quality.
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And that's a gorgeous little piece of kit. That. I mean, we've actually been loaned this one today for the review from our friend Vinny at Wickersley Angling. He uses these for all his feeder fishing. I remember some years ago, I was actually privy to a chat with the owner of Free Spirit, a chap called Simeon, who was looking at launching into the match range. It was back in my match fishing days in about 2016, 2017. And obviously he's since gone on to do that and do it extremely well. But what struck me when I met him was the level of knowledge the bloke's got, not only about carbon and how it behaves, but about rod building. I think that's what they really pride themselves on, building quality rods.
This is a 9-foot rod we're using here, which I think 9 foot is as low as I'd go in the length of a rod. I don't care how small the venue. If it was a canal type, a snake lake or something like that, for sure.
Yeah.
I still think 9 foot is as low as I need to go. I've used an 8-foot rod and it just felt horrible.
Yeah.
But this, you maintain a certain length to the handle. It feels like you've got a rod in your hand all the time.
Yes.
So I think this is a lovely little rod, really. And for this sort of thing, I mean, we're chucking a little block end feeder out today, just trying to get a few bites off everything because obviously the lake's half frozen over.
Yeah.
But you can imagine plopping a little method on it. A straight lead, bomb and pellet. It's certainly got the action for everything.
Yeah, so I think the kind of fishing we've done today has been a perfect test, really, because if you had a pokier rod, you'd be bumping off those smaller fish, and I think that's the test of a real quality piece of kit. It's something that's got the softness to land smaller fish when you're winding them in quite quickly, and the power and reserve to land bigger fish.
Yeah, I'm quite interested as well. The tips with this, it's got 3 tips. It's got the 1/8. It's got two 1/8 tips, but one's glass, one's carbon. Is that right?
Yeah.
Which is quite, which again is a well thought out thing. We've seen this before.
And it's got a third tip, I think that's 2 ounce carbon as well.
Yeah.
So it's got 3 tips.
You've got the variety there for what your different sort of bite indications and different applications, and we are seeing this more now, aren't we? Rather than the bog standard 1.5 and 2 ounce tips, we're seeing specialist tips, really.
Definitely.
And they're very nicely done. They're very nice fine tips. All the rings look very nice and very well. There's not loads of glue overhanging them.
Absolutely.
Like that.
So whether really you were skimmer fishing on a small still water and landing them in, that's plenty soft enough to do that job, to wrestling out big carp. And the thing I like about it, there's a lot of quality features. Obviously the Fiji reel guides, they're lovely. Got that neoprene sort of screw down handle, that's very secure there. Got a little keeper ring on it, the graphics looks nice, the weave looks nice. It's just lovely, isn't it, to be fair?
Do you know one thing, like little things you notice, it's little touches, isn't it? And you said that, it's got the little hook-up keeper ring there. But I noticed on this, it's the first time I've seen one actually on the side of the rod, not underneath here.
Yeah.
Now again, you have one under there, it's all very well and good having it there, but you're always looking for it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not doing any harm there. It's not going to catch your line on the cast. It's not going to get in the way, and it's more usable.
More easy to get hold of the hook and cast it out, isn't it, I think?
Just little things like that. There's a little bite.
Well, there we are. Look at that. Right on cue. What have we got there? A little hide?
Just a little roach, I think, Tom. Nothing big.
Nice little bite. But you can see how soft that is, and it's soaking everything up, isn't it? Have a little look.
Tiny little roach.
Tell you what,
Oh, it came
it
off.
dropped off, but a lovely bite on that soft tip.
So obviously with Free Spirit, you know, as we said earlier, they came from carp fishing, handmade rods, you know, very high end thing, and now we're seeing more of it in, you know, in coarse angling or in match fishing. As a company, I don't know much about the company. Is there a concerted effort to really push this now? Are we going to see a lot more of it, or is it always going to be a sort of a, you know, a high end, you know, low turnover product, if you know what I mean?
They definitely pride themselves on doing what they do very well. We've seen it on the carp side, we've seen it on the way they've brought themselves into the match side. So I imagine we will see more from them, we'll see more products, but they'll be well-made, niche products designed, to be honest, for people who appreciate good fishing tackle. So I don't see, you know, any sort of great move to take on the mass market. They do what they do very well.
So possibly someone who maybe not goes fishing to set up 3 or 4 identical rods.
Yeah.
Someone who likes doing a bit of method feeder fishing or a little bit of pellet fishing, and that's their pride and joy almost. That's, you know,
Absolutely.
It's just a rod you love using.
So yeah, I mean, obviously you can tell from this, folks, we're quite impressed with it. What we'll do now, I'm going to pass you over to Vinny from Wickersley Angling. He also loves these rods. As I've said, he uses them himself. This is his take on the Free Spirit carp feeder rods.
If you ask me what's the quickest selling rod in this shop at this moment in time, it is the Free Spirit CTX range. Free Spirit have come from Carp World, they know their onions, so they know the carbon. If somebody wants something for commercial carp fishing, I walk upstairs, I stick whatever size they want in their hand, and they walk out with it. It sells that easily. They are fantastic.